You don't have to be a frequent traveler or shopper to get elite status. You can now earn Aeroplan points on rent, taxes, and bill payments with Chexy. And now you can also earn points and redeem points for A&W, Teen Burgers, root beer, onion rings, and more. All this and more on Rewards Canada's This Week in Rewards for April 25th, 2025. If you're looking to make the most of your loyalty programs and credit card rewards, you've come to the right place. This is your weekly dose of loyalty rewards, travel, and credit card happenings in Canada from Canada's original points and miles resource, Rewards Canada. As always, a quick tip that you will find links to all the articles and topics we covered in today's video in the description below. I'm your host, Patrick, and we'll kick things off, like usual, with credit cards. It's been pretty quiet in the world of credit cards, but that's all going to change next week. But what that's allowed me to do over the past 2 weeks since our last video was catch up on some old features and update them and actually write some new articles as well in regards to credit cards. So the first thing we'll look at this week is one of those new articles, and that was a guide to Canadian credit cards that offer automatic elite status. So that's what I mean when I said in the intro that you don't have to be a frequent traveler or a frequent shopper. There are credit cards in the Canadian market that will give you automatic elite status with airline, hotel, and I guess you can call Air Miles a shopping program. Once you have one or more of these cards and have your elite status set up, you'll enjoy higher points earning, potential room upgrades, quicker airport check-in, quicker boarding on airplanes, lower merchandise pricing when redeeming miles for merchandise through Air Miles again. So basically with these credit cards, any Canadian can get elite status in several loyalty programs, whether they're hotel programs, airline programs, or a shopping program like Air Miles. And once you have any of these cards and have that elite status activated, you'll enjoy higher points earning, potential room upgrades, early boarding on certain airlines, discounted merchandise rewards with Air Miles, and the list goes on. So like I said, you don't have to be a frequent traveler to enjoy some of those benefits. So let's look at the cards that do provide automatic elite status. So the most famous one is the Platinum card from American Express. So this card, along with its business sibling, the Business Platinum card from American Express, they offer automatic Marriott Bonvoy Gold status, Hilton Honors Gold status, and also Hertz Gold Plus Rewards 5-star status. So the key ones here are the Marriott and Hilton. The Hertz status really makes sense for some people, but most people who are, I guess, looking to get that free status, they enjoy the Marriott and Hilton status. So like something with Marriott Gold, what you're gonna get is 25% extra Bonvoy points on all your stays. That's a good boost of points there. Enhanced room upgrades, now that's subject to availability. 2 p.m. late checkout, again, subject to availability. And then you get member rates. I mean, that's all Marriott Bonvoy members get member rates, so that's kind of included in there. Hilton Gold status will give you 80% bonus points on Hilton stays. Room upgrades as well, space available, and also a daily food and beverage credit at US hotels or a continental breakfast outside of the US. And then the Hertz 5-star status will give you 25% bonus points on Hertz rentals, 1-car class upgrade, and expedited rental service. So just a little bit of extra perks. And I know some people will say, well, you know, Marriott Gold, Hilton Gold, it doesn't give you too much. Yeah, and that can be the case, especially when you're traveling in the States. You're competing with so many other elite members that you probably will not get a room upgrade, but people do. You know, you read stories online, they do get upgrades. But within Canada, Europe, Asia, the benefits tend to be a little bit better. You do have a better chance of upgrades, especially in Asia. The amount of stories I read of people who are traveling in Asia who are just Marriott Golds and getting upgrades, it happens quite a bit. So this is good to know. I mean, and here's the thing, having Marriott Gold and Hilton Gold is better than not having any status, especially you're gonna earn like those bonus points and everything. So these are things to consider when you're getting these cards, if you are getting them primarily for the elite statuses. So next card that offers elite status in Canada automatically are the Marriott Bonvoy American Express card and its sibling as well, the Marriott Bonvoy Business American Express card. So the status provided on these is Marriott Silver, and they provide it by giving you 15 elite night credits annually on the card, and 15 elite night credits is what you need to have silver status. Spend $30,000 on the card in a year and you'll have gold elite status. So Marriott Bonvoy Silver provides 10% bonus points, priority late checkout, and then of course you get the member rates for being a Marriott Bonvoy member. So a little bit lower than the Marriott Gold on the Platinum card, but also this card's only $120 per year versus $799 on the Platinum cards. Really, the main benefit of Silver is that extra bonus Bonvoy points that you get on your stays. Again, better than nothing. Again, that's better than nothing, right? So, I mean, you might get some extra benefits. Some hotels are really good at recognizing any elite status level. It really depends where you stay. And with, Marriott approaching 10,000 hotels worldwide, you never know which hotel is going to give you something better for your benefits and ones that will just give you what they have to give you in terms of Bonvoy terms and conditions for statuses. So I would love to hear your guys' stories. Leave us a comment below in the comments what sort of perks or benefits you've received for having various elite status levels, whether it's silver, gold, platinum, titanium. We'd love to, it's kind of good to get a survey of our readers, viewers, listeners to see what people are receiving and where, so people know, because that does help people make a decision with picking a hotel. Maybe you're going to Toronto and you've stayed at one hotel and you got your base level benefits by the hotel, but then you stayed at another location and they went above and beyond. So letting those other people know, it's like, hey, this is the location that goes above and beyond. It helps those other elite members make the most of their elite statuses. So those ones really cover the hotel statuses. As you guys probably know, if you've been watching even Rewards Canada, even just for the past couple months, there are now some cards in Canada that offer automatic airline status. And those are the BMO VI Porter MasterCards. So yes, you can now get automatic airline elite status with these cards. So the BMO VI Porter World Elite MasterCard gives you VI Porter Venture Avid Traveler status. So what does this give you? It gives you enhanced points earnings. You get 6 points per dollar on Porter flights. You get dedicated airport check-in, priority security screening at certain airports, early boarding, one complimentary check bag, complimentary carry-on bag if you're buying the cheapest fares, complimentary seat selection if you're not buying a fare, that includes that. So a lot of these extra benefits that just make your travel a little bit easier and a little bit more valuable. So yeah, a great benefit to get that automatically on the card. The lower level BMO VI Porter MasterCard, this offers VI Porter Passport Avid Traveler status. So again, this one, the same thing. You get 6 points per dollar on flights. You get dedicated airport check-in, priority security screening, early boarding as well. The only things missing with this one really are the complimentary check bag and complimentary seat selection, those little things. But again, some extra benefits, and for only $89 a year, it could be very valuable in terms of getting that card. And the VI Porter World Elite MasterCard, that one's $199 per year. Again, if you fly Porter only a couple times per year, those benefits can easily make up for that $199 fee. And now we're going to go into some cards that give you shopping. We'll call it shopping elite status, but it's it's Air Miles. Air Miles is shopping, travel, everything. If you get yourself the BMO Air Miles World Elite MasterCard or the World Elite Business MasterCard, you get automatic Air Miles Onyx status. So with Onyx status, you get unlimited transfers between cash and Dream Miles. We just talked about that in our podcast with Jason Beals of Air Miles, of how many people are transferring over to cash miles. But as an Onyx member, you get unlimited transfers back and forth either direction. So say you've been collecting a lot of cash miles and suddenly a good vacation comes up that you want to redeem Dream Miles for, you can transfer those over, and vice versa. If there's some good cash miles, maybe some rebates or something, you can go back and forth. You don't have the limitations that Gold or Blue members do. And then also being an Onyx member, you get higher earning if you book via Air Miles Travel. So you're getting 1 mile for every $5 spent. You get up to 10% off merchandise redemptions. That's what I was talking about, using less miles for merchandise. That comes down to Onyx. There's a personal shopper service. That's where you basically use Air Miles on anything. You go to the personal shopper, say, I want to get this thing. It may not be in the Air Miles catalog. They will go and get it for you. They'll tell you how many miles and you can redeem miles for it. So, and I've read many good stories of people who've utilized the personal shopper service to use their miles for something that wasn't featured normally for all the other Air Miles members. And then if you get yourself the no-fee BMO Air Miles MasterCard or the BMO no-fee Air Miles Business MasterCard, you get automatic Air Miles Gold status. So with these cards, you can still transfer between cash and Dream, but there are limitations. You get 1 mile for every $10 spent via Air Miles Travel and up to 5% off merchandise redemption. So yeah, so Gold is at that mid-level. It's not as strong as Onyx, but it does definitely give you some extra benefits with the Air Miles program. And then the last elite statuses we'll look at, this one I almost forgot when I was writing this article because it doesn't get mentioned very often. I remember we talked about it when it first launched, and then it kind of goes back of mind. And that is for Canadian Visa cards and their partnership with Sandman Hotels and their RSVP rewards program. So Visa Infinite card holders, this is any Visa Infinite card in Canada, can get automatic RSVP rewards platinum status. So this platinum status can be used at Sandman hotels and Sutton Place hotels. So they're mostly across Canada, primarily Western Canada, but they have some out east as well. They have several locations in the US and the UK as well. So you can use all these benefits at any of their locations. So some of the things with platinum status include increased earning on your stay, so 2 bonus points per dollar, room upgrades that are subject to availability, early check-in, late checkout, again, subject to availability, dining vouchers, lounge access, and more to the program. And then if you have any Canadian Visa Infinite privilege, you can get automatic RSVP Rewards Diamond status. So that's a higher level in the program. And that gives you 4 bonus points per dollar spent, room upgrades as well, lounge access, a lot of the same benefits, but I'm sure Diamonds get priority over Platinum. So if you have a Visa Infinite privilege, you can get yourself that free RSVP Rewards Diamond status. So those are all the cards in Canada, I should say publicly available cards in Canada, that provide you with automatic status. Now, once you do get any of these statuses, what that also allows you to do is parlay them into status match opportunities. If you've watched our videos, read our website, you know that we talk about status match opportunities out there all the time. You know, we have a full article even just on the Platinum card on how you can get like 7 hotel elite statuses. It actually jumps up to 8 now because there's one more to add there. 4 car rental status, 1 cruise line status, just through all these status matches. So, you know, you can take your Marriott Gold status, you can take your Hilton Gold status and match that to status with Choice Hotels, Sonesta Hotels, Rotana Hotels, Best Western. There are so many options out there. All these hotel programs match to each other because they want you to try them out and all that. Now, I will say, if you don't have plans to stay with a hotel brand, say you're not going to stay with Sonesta or Choice, or Preferred Hotels is another one I didn't mention. They do status matching as well. Don't status match until you know you might have a stay. So if, you know, a couple months down the road, you may be traveling to Toronto and you're like, hey, I want to stay at the Sonesta Yorkville. It used to be an IHG hotel, but it's a Sonesta now. Then you would match your status to Sonesta hotels. And the reason why is some of these programs, they do not allow you to match more than once. It's a once in a lifetime match opportunity. The only exception to that is Best Western. Best Western, I think you can go out and match right away. I matched with them probably about 15 years ago with my Hyatt Gold Passport status. Yes, it was Hyatt Gold Passport back then, still wasn't World of Hyatt yet. And I still have my Best Western Diamond status from that match from 15 years ago. I'm still Best Western Diamond for 15 years. So I believe, you know, if you wanted to, you can go out and match with Best Western and World Hotels, which is owned by Best Western. You can get World Hotel Reward status because they also do the same thing as Best Western, which is their status match, no catch. So I guess even if you lost their status, because there is no catch to their status matches, you could just keep reapplying. But I assume that's why they just give you the status for what seems like life. At least it seems like it. So there is one more card in Canada that does offer elite status automatically, and that is the American Express Air Canada card. So this is the ultra exclusive and invite only. You have to be invited to get this card, and that card offers Aeroplan 50K status to the card holder and even additional card holders with that card. But again, it's not publicly available, so we don't really talk about it too much. And I should also note the other Aeroplan cards, the Visa Infinite Privileges and the Aeroplan Reserve, while they don't give you automatic elite status, they give you almost elite status like benefits when you fly with Air Canada, you know, priority check-in, priority boarding. So those are also, I guess, considerations. They're kind of in between, right? It's not an automatic elite status, but they're giving you some elite status benefits. So that's the feature on credit cards in Canada that provide Canadians with automatic elite status. And then next thing in credit cards, like I said, we were cleaning up features. So this is one feature we updated, and that was our guide to Canadian credit card car rental insurance. So collision damage waiver insurance on Canadian credit cards. So what we do in this feature, what basically the update was adding new cards to it. So we've had the BMO cards come out, the Neo World Elites, the Scotia Visa Infinite Privilege, all these cards I added to this feature now so that you can see, you know, what they cover in terms of their CDW coverage. Basically, this feature talks about what is collision damage waiver insurance. It answers questions like where in the world will it cover you? And it's pretty much worldwide. Now, there are certain countries like Italy and Ireland where by law you're required to take coverage from the rental company, so you can't decline the CDW. But in those cases, a lot of times the cards will cover the deductible from that coverage that you have to buy from those countries. So a lot of these little tips for you guys so that you know about your car rental coverage. We talk about maximum MSRP. So that's the manufacturer's suggested retail price of cards. That is one that is, of course, a big stickler nowadays, because a lot of cards are only $65,000 Canadian, and others are 85,000 Canadian. And the problem there is cars are getting more expensive, and those have not followed suit. So this is something you need to be aware of. If you're renting a car and you happen to be upgraded, perhaps you have that Hertz status from the Platinum card and they're giving you a fancier car, you should be aware that if that card is worth more than 85,000, because chances are you're putting on the Platinum card, maybe not, but if you have the Platinum card, so if that car is worth more than 85,000 Canadian, you are not going to be covered for your CDW insurance. Now, there is one card in Canada, if you have it still, because they don't have it open for applications, that you don't have to worry about the MSRP, and that is the Diners Club Rewards MasterCard. They have no MSRP limit. The only limits there are just like the other cards, no renting super fancy cars like Porsche, Lamborghini, Ferraris. But if you are getting like BMWs and Mercedes and things like that, you will be covered again, but it comes out to that MSRP limit on your credit card. Another thing you need to be aware of with the credit card car rental insurance coverage is the length of your coverage. Most cards are 31 days or 48 days, which is more than enough for most people. But if you're traveling for a longer period of time, if you have a car rental longer than that, so if you have 31 days and you're renting for 35, you will not have coverage from day one. You will not be covered for, say, 31 days and then having 4 days of not coverage. It's all days you're not covered. Same thing with 48 days. You go 49 days, you have no coverage at all. And you cannot start a rental. You cannot say rent for 48 days and then start a new rental right away. Most of the cards have a provision in place that you have to wait a full 24 hours before you have another rental happening. So another thing to be aware of is that duration, that time limit duration on your coverage. And then there's little things like exclusions we talked about, like pickup trucks aren't covered by most of these programs. So like, especially in Western Canada, when you are renting cars, I've seen a lot of pickup trucks in those rental lots, and that's for, people going out in the field, whether it's oil and gas, mining, you name it. They're renting pickup trucks. Now, usually if you're renting with through your company, you might have coverage anyways, but some people just go there and the company may offer it to you, or you may say, hey, I want to rent that pickup truck. Beware that your credit card most likely will not cover your collision damage waiver on the pickup truck. And now we'll pause for a message from our sponsor. This episode of This Week in Rewards is proudly brought to you by Saily. Saily is a new eSIM service brought to you by Nord Security, who are famous for their NordVPN service. Canada is famous, or should I say infamous, for having some of the highest costs for mobile services, and this extends beyond our borders when using your Canadian provider while traveling abroad. Using an eSIM service is a great way to save on those excessive fees, and Saily provides affordable eSIM services in over 160 countries and 8 regions. With a Saily eSIM, you'll always have a connection when needed, and you won't have to worry about high fees or needing to search out a cafe or hotel with a poor Wi-Fi connection, nor do you have to worry about carrying multiple SIM cards and fumbling about to switch them over. You'll save yourself time at the airport or train station, as you won't have to go buy yourself a local card. With Saily, all you have to do is download their app and then pick the plan that works for you, and you can save 15% with our exclusive discount code REWARDSCanada. It can be for a single country like the US, an entire region like Europe, or you can even go for a global plan. The plans range from 1 day to an entire year and provide 5 to 20 gigabytes of data. The Saily app will guide you through the process to set up your eSIM, including activation, but you don't have to worry about losing time or data, as it only turns on automatically once you have landed at your destination. For our listeners and viewers, you can get that exclusive 15% discount on Saily eSIM data by downloading the Saily app and using code REWARDSCanada, all one word, lowercase, REWARDSCanada, at checkout, or go to saily.com/rewardscanada to have the code automatically applied. Before we continue to loyalty, rewards, and travel, if you liked today's video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel if you don't do so, hit that notification bell so you're notified when we post new videos, share the video with friends, family, coworkers, anybody who you think can benefit from the topics we cover in the videos, and leave us a comment below, whether it's a question, a correction, or just want to say hi. All right, that takes us into loyalty programs and travel news. So the big thing in the past 2 weeks of loyalty program news is the news from Aeroplan and them partnering with Chexy. So now you can earn extra Aeroplan points on your rent, taxes, and more when you use credit cards to pay for those. Chexy is a Canadian fintech company that has enabled Canadians to basically pay their rent with credit cards. So what they do is, you give them your credit card number, they charge you a fee for doing so, for making the payments, and then they make the direct deposit, pad date payment, you name it, to your landlord for the rent. And recently they've expanded into bill payments and taxes as well. So any of these companies that do not accept credit cards, you can now pay through Chexy and do that. And like I said, they charge a fee for it. It's 1.75% of whatever the payment is. And then they do the e-transfer, pre-authorized debit, or bill payment on your behalf. So this partnership with Aeroplan, it's an exclusive launch offer for new members. They can earn up to 10,000 points in the first year. So basically what you have to do is open a new Chexy account and make your first payment by July 15th and you'll get 2,000 points. You can earn an additional 1,000 points following the 12th consecutive monthly payment, 5,000 points after processing 5,000 in payments within 6 months, and then 500 points for the second and each additional recurring payment, up to a total of 4, made within 6 months of activating the first payment. So that's up to 2,000 points. That gives you 10,000 points in total. It should be noted all payments need to be a minimum of $50. And there's also a referral offer, so Aeroplan members can earn up to 10,000 more points for referring people to Chexy. Basically, you'll earn 1,000 points for each new Chexy user referral who completes their first $50 or more payment, and you can do up to 10 referrals. With Chexy, you can use any Canadian Visa or American Express card, and ideally you're going to use one where you get more value out of the points and miles than that 1.75% fee that they charge, unless of course you're trying to meet the minimum spend to get your welcome bonus on a new card. But in terms of everyday payments on your credit cards, Chexy codes as recurring bills. So a card like the Scotia Momentum Visa Infinite, which gives 4% cash back on recurring bills, you'll come out ahead by 2.25%. But of course, you can use any card that has the potential to give you even outsized value, even at 1 point per dollar. So even your TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card, if you're redeeming for a business class flight with Air Canada where you're getting 3 or 4 cents per point, you're coming out ahead as well. So that's the same thing for like British Airways, Air France, KLM, but even cards like the Marriott Bonvoy American Express card, because that earns 2 points per dollar. So you're probably getting at least a 2% return there. So anything that's higher than that 1.75%, you're ahead of the game when you're paying these bills, rent, or taxes with Chexy. Next up in loyalty, we have a new fast food reward program that just launched, and that is A&W Rewards. So yes, now you can earn and redeem points on teen burgers, onion rings, and more. So you can join A&W Rewards via the app. So it's like a lot of the fast food reward programs. You have to have the app to be able to join. So you join in the app. And then once you've joined, you'll earn 10 points per dollar spent with A&W before any taxes. Of course, it's only on your main spend. You can earn through orders on the app, or you can just scan the code on the app when you're in restaurant or going through the drive-through. I've already done so, yes. It's only been around a week and I already have my points. There's my little screenshot of my first earning with A&W Rewards. And you'll earn these points over and above whatever you earn on your credit card. So of course you want to try and use a card that has a dining accelerator. So things like the American Express Cobalt card, 5 points per dollar, MBNA Rewards World Elite, 5 points per dollar, Scotiabank Gold American Express card, 5 points per dollar, all the points earning machines. But do note that A&W is quite famous for having their locations in Petro-Canada gas station locations. And a lot of times those ones have the same POS system as the gas station, so they actually code as gas. So if you're frequenting those ones, you may have to do a test first and see, like say you take your Cobalt card and see if you come out with 5 points or 2 points per dollar, and then you'll see if it's 2 points per dollar, then it's coding as the Petro-Canada and not as the dining, so it's coding as gas. So you want to use a card with a gas accelerator. Good thing is Scotia Gold Amex and Amex Cobalt have gas accelerators. The MBNA does not, so that you might want to look at other cards there where you can earn more if you are frequenting those A&W locations in a Petro-Canada. Redeeming points, they have 4 levels, tier levels, just like all the other fast food reward programs. I mean, the point requirement's a little different. A&W has 300 points, 600, 900, and 1,500 point levels. I haven't done all the numbers yet or looked at even all the rewards yet, but at first glance, the program does not seem to provide as high of return, so your percent on spending, as My McDonald's Rewards or DQ Rewards, but I'll dive into that more here in the coming weeks and cover that in another video. And that's really it for loyalty and travel news, but I do want to note an event coming up here in Calgary on May 8th. Rewards Canada has partnered with Tech Thursday. It's a free event every Thursday night here in Calgary, and we're doing a loyalty event, and we're going to have myself, Saul Zia from the Calgary Hotel Association, Steve McClelland, who's the VP of Loyalty at WestJet, and Caitlin Matheson from NEO, who is the strategic director of partnerships with that credit card issuer. So this is going to be a deep dive into points, miles, and data. We're just going to talk about loyalty programs and how they go hand in hand with technology and data. Like I said, it's a free event. So if you're in the Calgary area on May 8th, be sure to come check it out if your evening is free. Like I said, it's Thursday, May 8th. I'll put a link below where you can reserve your free spot. It is a free event to come out to, and you can come say hello to myself and Steve from WestJet, Saul from Calgary Hotel. You guys know Saul, he's been on the podcast before. He's a big loyalty guy. He used to be with like Loyalty One, WestJet, Canadian Airlines, and then Catlin as well from Neo. And there's going to be probably other people from these companies as well there. So be sure to get your tickets. I believe there's a limit to the number of tickets, so get it sooner than later. Not sure if it'll sell out. Who knows? But like I said, it's a free event, so it doesn't hurt to get your tickets right away for it if you can attend. And that takes us to this week's bonus blast. So the bonus blast is where we have a quick look at bonus points, miles, opportunities that we've posted to the Rewards Canada website over the past week. Well, in this case, the past 2 weeks. We go through them quite quickly. We don't go too in depth into these bonuses. So the first bonus we're going to look at is a 15% bonus when you transfer your RBC Avion Rewards Points into Cathay Pacific Asia Miles. So right now, all RBC Avion cardholders, whether it's Infinite, Platinum, Infinite Privilege, the business ones, have the opportunity to convert Avion points into Asia Miles and get a 15% bonus. This runs until May 12th. The standard conversion rate is 1 Avion reward point to 1 Asia mile. So that means you'll end up with 1.15 Asia miles transferred with this offer. You do have to transfer a minimum of 10,000 Avion points. But when you do this transfer, that means things like your 54,000 mile round trip between Vancouver and Hong Kong on Cathay can be achieved with 47,000 Avion points. So that's actually quite a bit better deal than, say, using Avion's air redemption schedule. The next bonus is actually a credit card bonus, and this one we don't talk about very much, or this brand, and these are the Collabria credit cards. So Collabria is the issuer of the majority of credit union credit cards in Canada. Not all credit unions, but a lot of them, Envision in BC and many others. They are offering a 50% bonus on digital streaming, subscriptions, and recurring payments. So if you have their Cashback, their Centra Gold, World Mastercard, Visa Infinite, Cashback World Mastercard, or Cashback Visa Infinite, you can earn those bonus points on all eligible purchases in those categories until May 31st, 2025. So this means, if you have the lower end cards, you're going to earn 0.75 points per dollar instead of 0.5. If you have the higher end cards, you're going to earn 1.5 points per dollar instead of 1 point per dollar. Except that one goes until May 31st. Next bonus is one we covered here on the blog, got quite a bit of attention, and that's earning 10% cash back on your choice hotel stays in Canada and still earning your points on top. So right now, when you book and stay with any choice hotels in Canada, you can earn 10% cash back via the Cashback app PayMe. This is over and above the points you will earn on your credit cards and also the points you earn for being a Choice Privileges member. They're offering double points until the middle of May as well. So if you have any stays coming up quickly, you may want to link your cards via PayMe so you get that 10% cash back, earn the double points and your credit card points. Yeah, it's a card-linked offer, so if you're familiar with Avion Select, Air Miles card-linked offers, it's the same thing. As soon as you have your cards linked in the PayMe app, you just go out and spend directly at the hotel with Choice Hotels with that credit card that's linked, and then that cash back will show up 5 to 7 days later after that. The next bonus is a flight bonus, and it comes to us from Emirates Skywards. They're offering 2 times elite status tier qualifying miles when you fly with them out of Toronto or Montreal. Well, actually, it's globally, anywhere you fly in the world with them, but of course we're here in Canada, so their flights out of Montreal and Toronto will earn 2 times tier miles when you register and book by May 4th, so there's not a lot of time to register book, and it's valid for travel from May 1st to June 20th, 25. And the last bonus we'll look at is one of those status matches. So going back to the start of the video, and this one is from Rotana Hotels. They're matching elite status from Accor, Hilton, IHG, and Marriott. So you might be like, who is Rotana Hotels? I mean, there's one that's not common in Canada. I mean, they don't have any in Canada. They don't have any hotels in North America. They are strictly in the Middle East, a little bit in Europe, and some in Africa as well. But why this makes sense for Canadians is Rotana Rewards is going to be folded into GHA, Global Hotel Alliance Discovery Program. Now, the Discovery Program does have more value for Canadians because there are some hotels, not a lot, it's all the Pan-Pacific hotels in Canada. So I think, there's 3 or 4 locations, Vancouver, Whistler, Toronto. So basically you can match with Rotana, and then that should eventually become GHA Discovery. So you should have elite status with GHA Discovery. I don't see why they would not move it over to when they do that. So basically, if you have Accor Elite status, Hilton status, which you get from the Platinum card from American Express, Marriott Bonvoy status from the Platinum card from American Express, or IHG One Reward status, you can go fill out this status match and you'll get Rotana Reward status. And then hopefully sometime here later this year, they're supposed to be changing into that GHA Discovery program. You will have GHA Discovery status as well. Remember, before you do any travel bookings, flights, hotels, car rentals, you name it, be sure to check the Rewards Canada bonus offers section for any bonus offers. So many people are leaving so many points and miles on the table each and every day because they just go directly and book their flights and hotels, not realizing they can be earning double points this, triple miles that, a free night here, things like that. There's so much more value from programs if you take just a little bit of time to find those offers. And the thing is, we take that time to put all those offers together for you so you don't have to spend as much time to find them. And that's all she wrote for this week. Be sure to check out rewardscanada.ca on a daily basis, or our socials on a daily basis. We are posting things that do not make it into this video, and there are some limited time offers that do not even make it into our newsletter. But at the very least, you should be subscribing to that newsletter. It covers everything. If you don't have the time during the week to be checking out everything, the newsletter is your roundup of everything that is still available. And on Saturdays, we have our bonus bulletin, and that is your complete roundup of all the bonus points, miles, offers that we've posted on the website for that previous week. It ranges from 20 to 30, upwards of 60 offers per week. It is your ticket to more miles, more points, and more rewards. Thank you everybody for tuning in this week. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.